Hello students, in this question of GST, we'll be learning how to adjust the balance amount of GST if output IGST is greater or exceeds input IGST. Now IGST is paid when we do the interstate or outside the state transaction. Output IGST is at the time of sale when you collect GST amount, or at the time of earning income you collect GST amount. When it is more, your collection is more than what you have given to the government at the time of purchase or at the time of expense. So if your collection is more than what you have given to the government, that excess becomes your liability. So at the end of the question, when we will do the calculation, you will understand how it becomes a liability and how do we adjust the balance amount of GST. Pass the entries in the book of Krishnan of Bangalore, Karnataka. I have made the journal format. Number 1, purchase goods from Karunakaran of Chennai. Now this Karunakaran is from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and IGST is already given. That means it is from outside the state. So we'll write here purchases account debit. Now at the time of purchase we have to pay some GST. Since it is interstate, outside the state, we have to pay some input IGST, that we will debit, and this we are purchasing from Karunakaran. The purchase amount was 1 lakh. The IGST is 18%, that is 18,000, and the total of these two will come as 1,18,000. We'll write the narration. Purchased goods from outside the state. Okay, next, second one, number 2. The second one, here it says sold goods to Ganeshan of Bangalore for 1,50,000, CGST 6% and SGST 6%. So Ganeshan is from Bangalore and Krishnan is also from Bangalore. So here will be within the state. So CGST and SGST. It's already given in the question, but if it is not given, then we will have to adjust. Okay. So here sold goods to Ganeshan. So we are going to debit Ganeshan, debit sold goods, so to sales account, we'll collect some GST at the time of sale, so to output CGST account, to output SGST account. So here the sales is for 1,50,000. 6% of 1,50,000 is 9,000, and here also 6% 9,000. When we add these three, we will get as 1,68,000. 1,68,000. We'll write here goods sold within the state. Number 3. Number 3, here it says sold goods to S. Nair of Kerala, rupees 2,60,000 IGST 18,000. So this is interstate, outside the state, from Karnataka to Kerala. So S. Nair is the receiver of goods. So we are going to debit S. Nair, debit to sales account to, here we are collecting the interstate, so it will be to output IGST account. So here sales was for 2,60,000. 18% of 2,60,000 will be 46,800, and when we total these two, it will come to 3,06,800. 3,06,800. We'll write the narration. Sold goods outside the state. Next we have is number 4. Number 4, purchase machinery for 80,000 from Surya Limited against check CGST 9%, SGST 9%. So we have already paid check to Surya, that means we have already done the payment through the bank. So here machinery account will be debited because we are getting the machinery, and we are going to debit input CGST account because we have to pay some GST at the time of purchase of the machinery. Input SGST account will debit this, and we will even debit this also. Okay. And we have paid through check, so we'll write to bank account. Machinery was for 80,000. GST that we paid was 9% and 9%. So 9% CGST will be 7,200 and 9% SGST will be 7,200. Now when we add these three, it will come to 94,400. Here purchased machinery from within the state because it is CGST and SGST. Next we have is number 5. Paid rent rupees 30,000 by check, CGST 6%, SGST 6%. So rent is expense, so we will debit the rent account. Now along with this we have some input which we have to pay at the time of rent. Input CGST debit and input SGST debit, and since we have paid in terms of check, so we will write here to bank account. So here the rent is 30,000, input CGST that is your 6% of 30,000 will be 1800, and here also it will be 1800, and the total of these three will be 33,600. We'll write the narration here. Rent paid. Okay, then we have number 6. Okay, we'll bring this number 6 down. Okay, so number 6 here it says purchase goods from Ram Mohan Rai of Bengaluru for 2 lakh CGST 6%, SGST 6%. So purchased goods, purchase is expense, so purchases account debit. Then along with the purchase we have to pay some GST. So to input CGST account debit, to input SGST account debit, and this, the giver is Ram Mohan Rai. So here purchase was for 2 lakh. Okay, 2 lakh, and 6% of 2 lakh is 6 to the 12, 12,000, and here again it will be 12,000. Now when we add these three, it will come to 2,24,000. 2,24,000. Narration: goods purchased within the state. Then we have number 7. Number 7 says here paid insurance premium 10,000 by check, CGST 9%, SGST 9%. So insurance account we will debit because we are paying the premium expense, and with this we have to pay some GST also. So we will write input CGST debit and input SGST debit, and this we are paying in terms of check. So we will write here to bank account. So the insurance premium was for 10,000. The GST is 9% and 9%, so it is 900 and 900. So the total of these three will come as 11,800. 11,800. Okay. Okay. So the narration here will write as insurance premium paid. Now number 8. Number 8 here it says received commission 20,000 by check which was deposited into the bank. So we are receiving into the bank, so we are going to debit the bank account. Now commission is your income, so nominal account it will be credited to commission received account, and then we are even collecting some GST with this to output CGST account to output SGST account. So here the commission received was 20,000 and the 9% of 20,000, 2 9s are 18, 1800, and here again we have 1800. When we total these three, we will get 23,600. Narration, commission received. Okay, so we have come to the end. Now the last one is payment made of balance amount of GST. Now for this we need to do some working. Okay, so first we will find out how much was our payment, that means how much we paid at the time of purchase and at the time of expense, IGST. So we'll write here calculation. Okay, so here we'll write down input IGST, and then below we will write here output IGST. Okay, I'll give the rupee font here. Okay, so let us check our input IGST. So let us go and let us do the checking. Okay, so input IGST is 18,000, and there is any more input IGST. Let us check any more input IGST inputs. Okay, input IGST, no, we don't have any more input IGST, so we will write here 18,000. Okay, now we'll go and check our output IGST. Okay, so our input IGST was 18,000. Now we'll check our output IGST. Here we got output IGST is 46,800. Is there any more output IGST? Output IGST, let us check. Any more output IGST? No, we don't have. So here the output was 46,800. Now output, which means the amount that we have collected is more, that means we are liable to the government, because at the time of purchase we had paid only 18,000. So when we minus 46,800 and 18,000, we get 28,800. So this is our excess. Okay, so this is our excess. Excess of what? Excess output IGST. Okay, so we will write here that excess output IGST okay, rupees 28,800 is the liability to government. Okay, so when you had purchased or expense, at the time you had paid 18,000. So at the time of settlement, what we are finding, that your collection was more. That means this amount excess has to be paid to the government. So you are liable towards the government the excess of 28,800. Okay, now First we will adjust the IGST with IGST. So we will write here narration. Okay, we'll write here journal entry number 9 we will give here, and we will write here output IGST account, we will debit to input IGST account. So first we will settle the 18,000 what we had already paid at the time of purchase, at the time of expense. So we will write here 18,000 on this side and 18,000 on this side. Narration, adjustment of IGST. But still we have some excess, 28,800. So out of this 1800 is already settled. We have already settled 18,000. We have already settled 18,000, that is output IGST to input IGST. Okay. Now next what we will do is we are going to find out the CGST and SGST. Okay. So I'll write here input and I'll write here output. Okay. And then I'll write here CGST and here I'll write down SGST. Okay. Here we'll put the font rupee and here also we'll put the font rupee. Okay. Now let us find out our input CGST and SGST. Both will be same. Okay. So first we'll find input. Okay. So 7,200, 1,800, 12,900. Okay. So here we'll write here in the bracket, we'll write here we got first was 7,200 plus 1,800 plus 12,000 plus, and then we had 900. Okay. So when we add these three, we will get, okay, so when we will add these 7,200, 1,800, 12,000 and 900, we will get 21,900. Okay, 21,900. Same will be with SGST, 21,900. Okay, if you want to check, you can recheck. Okay, so let me recheck over here whether it is done. Okay. Okay. Then we have output. So let us search the output now. We have done with input, so we'll search output CGST and SGST. So we have here 9,000 output, then we'll come down 9,000 and then 1800 we got here 1800. Okay, so here we will have 9,000 plus 1800. So these two will come as 10,800. Okay, so these two will come as 10,800. So we'll write here 10,800 and 10,800. Now here again what is happening, your input, that means your payment is becoming, input is more than your output. So we'll find out how much is the excess. This will be adjusted, the IGST will be adjusted with CGST and SGST. So 11,100 and 11,100, that is when we minus 21,900 and 10,800. Okay, so output was at the time of payment, we have at the time of collection we have collected 10,800 and we have paid excess of 11,100. Okay, so whatever excess we have paid, that excess amount we will not get back. Now you will think that we have paid 21,900 CGST and SGST, but we have collected only 10,800, that means remaining 11,100 we will get back. No, this will be adjusted with the liability that you have to pay to the government as output, IGST. Okay, so number 10, first what we will do is we will adjust the output CGST account debit, output SGST account debit to input CGST account to input SGST account. Now here input and output will be settled. Okay, so what we have already collected 10,800. Okay, 10,800 CGST and 10,800 SGST will be settled with the input what we have paid. So 10,800, so we have settled. Now the excess of 11,100, this is the final payment. We'll write here adjustment of CGST and SGST. Now we have the final one, that is number 11. Now here you can see that we had collected 10,800 but we had paid the excess of 11,100. So we have settled with the CGST and SGST 10,800, 10,800. Now the remaining of IGST will be settled. So we have output IGST account debit to input CGST account to input SGST account, and the remaining will go to bank account. So here the output IGST, the excess was 28,800. And how much is the excess that we will settle here? 11,100 and 11,100. And then when we deduct this from these two, we will get, okay, we will get the balance amount, we will get as 6,600. Okay, we'll write here final payment. Okay, so here what is happening? Your output is more, that means your collection is more than what you have given to the government. So this excess is becoming your liability to the government. So you have already settled with your 18,000, and then we settled with the CGST and SGST. This was the collection, and this was what they had to give. So 10,800 what they have collected, they have settled, and so extra amount, that is the input what they had to give, it has been settled with the excess of output as GST. Okay, so this is how you have to do when your output IGST is greater than your input IGST.